So I've lost a game. I searched everywhere to find it. It's one of the rarest and most expensive Mario games. It costed me 50. So that's the like size that it has. Like I've no idea. Like usually I keep them in here, which is crazy. Like I don't know why. Like I have this case which is full. Have all these games, and over here, and I can't find it anywhere. I have no idea what happened to it. Did I put wrong cartridge? Yeah, I put the wrong one. So I wanted to play Mario All Stars, which is in my collection. It's right here. I can see when lastly I played it. So I played it quite a while ago. It's been a long time. Probably, that's what I believe, it's inside this box, the box of Patrick. That's why I showed you Patrick. These games, this, and this are online. You download them from cloud. So the last physical copy was this, and the exact next one was this one. And as I can see, the next one was Bikini Bottom. So that was the first gameplay that I ever did on this channel. So what I'm thinking is inside this box has to be this game, but I can't find the box, probably because I did the moving home thing, and that's why I can't find it. I tried to find the box, tried to retrieve the box, but I can't find it. But I have Patrick here, so if Patrick is here and I had his box, if his box is not in my hands, probably the game is inside that box, which is crazy because usually I don't do it, but maybe I didn't have this case with me, so I had to improvise. I will try again to find it tomorrow. I'm quite worried because it costed me 50. It's one of the most, like, it's not just that it is expensive, like that's one point. The problem with this game is that it is quite rare. So can I find it on eBay? There are plenty of sellers who sell it for 44, 45, 50, 52 pounds. That's not a problem if you think about it, but my actual problem is that I lost it and I really wanted to play it today.
Goal setting to help.
Google Gemini, I have switched it off, but for some reason it keeps coming back. So I have coffee, I have this candy soft drink, I have a juice that I'm not gonna drink, but I probably am gonna drink it tomorrow. And I also have today, I have some wafer rolls. I love this. So this is how they look like, and I eat them a lot. This is how it looks like. It's crunchy. We were doing an Alan Parr critique, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play with Mario. So I managed to find it. It was indeed inside that box. That's the game. Thank God. Found it. I'm gonna put it right here. It was indeed in the box. It was my bed. My bed has like a drawer. I didn't look very well at this drawer because it's very heavy with things, and I thought because it has books inside of it, it's not gonna have it, but it did. And yeah, I found it and I'm quite happy about it. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play just one round of Kupathlon while critiquing Alan Parr. I have his video here. It's right here. So I'm gonna do like an introduction, I suppose, with this. Like, let's play. I'm playing this for you, like both games, but it's okay. Like, I wanted to show you the other game. My father is saying that you like this game when I play it, but I wanted to show you the other one, which is one of my favorites. Quite difficult. Mario. It's quite old. It's 1994, I think 1995. It's a quite old game. That's why it's rare. They released, if you wonder why you have a 90s game in a very brand new console, the reason is because it was so popular. It's probably the best selling game from Mario's universe ever. That's how beloved this game is. They released an all stars version with the Galaxy and Sunshine, I think is the other game. I haven't played Galaxy and Sunshine. Galaxy is the game that they are basing the new Mario movie, um, which will be released on April or March 2026. I haven't played this. I have only played the 94, which is 64, sorry, which is the oldest. It's from 94, I think. The name is taken by the console, Nintendo 64, which is one of the oldest, obviously, but like it almost has the same Mario design that we know Mario to have today. This game is quite difficult, as I said. I have tried to play it for about 2 years. It's one of the first Mario games that I purchased. I think I purchased it December or January or February 2022/2023, because we speak about end and beginning of the year. So it's one of the oldest games that I have purchased. I don't like these levels, but anyways. So I'm gonna leave. I don't like these levels. I play them all the time. Sorry. Um, they don't have any problem if you leave the level. They play the rest of them. 19 people. You don't have any problems. That's what I mean. So we will do a critique with Alan Parr, and then I will continue, but I will be playing the other game. Okay? There it is. We're playing with Mario, as I said, and yeah. I'm gonna put the video right now. It has some advertisements as always. I hate advertisements.
You're missing it. It's about the fact that you all.
So he was speaking about where the fuck is my controller? Can't find my controller, fuck my life. Okay, here. So he was talking about the Samaritan woman, and he was pretty much calling her a prostitute. We're gonna continue from that moment. I don't remember exactly what I said because the video was 2 days ago. You can go and rewatch what I said. It's always live. I never script what I'm saying. I always speak whatever comes to my mind at the moment. And yeah.
know very little about him, and we know all about him, and so therefore we're able to worship him. So what is Jesus saying?
Okay, so he says about how you worship God in a temple or you worship them on the open or something like that. Okay.
If you want to have spirit-filled worship with God, it's more about how much you know about God that's going to affect how you worship him. Because the more you know about his character, the more you know about him, the more and deeper you'll be able to allow your worship to go. It's not about worshiping on Sunday. As a matter of fact, I saw a sign not too long ago that said, if you want to be in shape spiritually, you can't just work out on Sunday. Many of us, we wonder why we're not in shape spiritually. It's because we're only working out on Sunday. Listen, spirit-filled work.
Guys, are you crazy? Are you mad? That's okay. Same levels again. I can't believe this. Anyways. Anyway, I'm gonna pretend that nothing happened. I'm gonna pretend I'm not seeing the same levels again. At least I like the baked bread level. So, spiritual exercise is something that is mandatory in paganism. I'm always saying that. Νους υγιής εν σώματι υγιή. You have a healthy body and healthy mind inside a healthy body. That's an ancient Greek saying. The ancient Greeks who were exercising naked, it was part of their spiritual exercise. They shouldn't have sexual thoughts about anybody around them, nor even their own bodies, like I like my body as it is naked. They shouldn't have such ideas. So they had to train their mind. I don't know exactly why Zeus or why they permitted themselves to exercise naked. It seems quite contradictory to me, but I wasn't really a pagan ever. Like that wasn't really what I did. Like I was always believing in the Christian God, so I don't know details. It's not something that we do in Greece anyways today. We love food too much to exercise and shit, if you get what I mean by. Yeah, what I'm saying to you is um, when you hear somebody saying if you have to be in shape, don't go to church just on Sunday, that's quite a pagan idea. God doesn't want you to be in spiritual shape. He wants you to be in a relationship with Him as He is with me. And I show this every day on my channel. How my father is viewing friendship and like brotherhood, I suppose is the name of the word that I'm trying to find. Like he wants to be your friend. He doesn't want to be your master. He doesn't want to be your lord. Just because I say that, that doesn't mean that he isn't like God. You have to understand that elevating him with names and titles is not gonna bring him any glory himself. Why? Because he doesn't need people to have glory. He's God. He can't take it from creation. Okay? That's quite a pagan idea because the pagan deities behave like that. They want you to provide for them. That the devil wants you to provide for him. That's why he says these things. So my father just wants friendship and company. He's quite a friendly spirit. If I can call him something, that would be friendly. Okay. So when I hear somebody saying, "Look, Helga, you have to exercise spiritually," that's a telltale. This is how you call it. The devil is involved in this sentence. It's quite saying to me, your ideas about God come actually from Satan. They don't come actually from Yahweh himself, because you say about gymnastics, mental gymnastics, like let's put it that way, like exercising as a form of discipline and disciplining your body, which in turn means disciplining your soul and your spirit. And that's what the Indians, the people in India are doing with yoga. the yoga each position. I'm not fluent with that. Like I have done yoga once in my life as a form of gymnastics. I didn't do it for spiritual reasons, obviously enough, but yoga is a form of disciplining your mind. And when the Indians are doing the, how's that called? Oh, I couldn't reach it. When the Indians are doing the positions that they are doing in yoga, these like stretchings that they do and they keep it for some moments, these positions are the shapes of the gods as they depict them on their artwork, if I can say so. I don't know deep stuff about Indian pantheon and shit, but it's quite similar with what the Greeks did, because many main archaeologists in the West and not only say that the gods that we have in Babylon, in Canaan, in Greece, in Rome, the Romans took it from us, obviously enough, but all we that we have gods as we have them are actually Indian deities that through trade and through relationships with like trade, economics, and warfare and everything that happened in the ancient times, we took these deities from them and we have them as Greek deities, pretty much Babylonian and so on. And I think I agree with this way of seeing the things. Why? Because um, how can I say it? Um, oh God, because when you open the Bible in the Old Testament and you read how God is angry that his people are going behind other deities, and you read they worship the Baalim, the gods of their ancestors that they didn't know, and it says they worship the deities of the other worlds, and they had Jezebel, and Jezebel brought her deities. You see, like this exchange of deities in the ancient world that archaeologists confirm in the globe that this has happened indeed. So you can see it even in the Bible that this is what happened. So going back to India, I believe that it is quite fair to say that um, yeah, it is quite fair to say, that's what I was trying to say, that probably when you, not probably, like basically when you are doing yoga and you are taking some positions with your body, you are mimicking the position, like the shape that the deity has in their mind in India. I don't know how they see their gods. I can translate the pantheons as a Greek ex mystic. I can do that, but what I mean is I don't know cultural stuff, so I don't want to really speak and say stuff that I don't know about deeper stuff. That's what I mean. Fitzgerald had written something about going to India in one of his articles I had read, and he had said that he had done yoga, and he said that he opened his third eye with this, something like that, not exactly this wording as I use it. Uh, well, that's what he said, like by and large, that he used yoga. Yoga is a spiritual form of discipline because it exercises your body. When you are a pagan, if you like, I don't know what type of relationship you have with him, like no jokes here. Ask him when he wrote about Indian yoga, in his response to Musurid's, this is where I found it if you are interested. He said he has done yoga, and this is why he says what he says, which is quite valid. He didn't say anything wrong, but he said that he has opened his third eye, like that was like the wording. Let's put it that way. That he opened his third eye by doing yoga, like he's saying some stuff about the divine just because he knows firsthand what he's talking about. That's what he said, and I'm not disqualifying him at that. That's what I mean. Okay. Fuck. So I'm third. Okay. So this is what he said. So if you have like the courage to go and ask him, tell him that you said in your article about India with Musurijon that um, I think my camera is not zooming enough. Okay. So tell him that you said in your article that you have done yoga, and tell him you have heard that yoga, because you don't do yoga in China obviously, is a form of like a discipline your mind by disciplining your body, and if this is accurate, because you don't know, you can tell him you don't have that in like in China. Tell him if you are like how's that called, if you feel like you will sound like an idiot, tell him that you know from Greece, because you are in the West, say because you are in the West, you know from Greece, Greeks were exercising to put their mind in discipline. So say, ask him like what you wrote about Musurijon and what's in your response that you have done yoga in India, what your experience showed. That's that's the question you can ask. Is exactly what the Greeks did in the ancient times, because the ancient Greeks were doing that. Nusi gis and somati gi, a healthy mind inside a healthy body, and see what he's gonna say. Like I'm not making fun of anybody here. I'm just asking. You get what I mean? You can ask him that you want to. Um, let's see what he will say. I believe he will agree. I'm not saying that he wouldn't, but I'm just saying that
Many of us, we wonder why we're not in shape.
um, maybe he will have something else to say that I don't know, because the Greeks weren't exercising as the the Indians. The way that we exercise in Greece is quite like how you go to the meal. How do you go to the fuck? How's that called? Cross trainer, my favorite. Cross trainer, like lifting weight. This is the type of exercise the Greeks did. Like this, yeah, that you see, like the sport style that is prevalent today in the media. That's the Greek style. This is how we did it. The Olympic Games is also a Greek thing, as you know, and the reason that it is prevalent is because it stopped wars. Greeks were doing that for their mind, so they stopped wars because they were doing gymnastics. It's a form of spiritual discipline, exercise, okay? So when I hear a preacher saying I have to be fit spiritually, no, it's not just a metaphor. It comes from the spirit world. It's something that Satan is gonna tell you. Look, I'm not gonna say don't keep fit. I'm not saying don't keep your body healthy. I'm not gonna say that, obviously. I'm just explaining what the Greeks did, which was a form of combining fitness with spirituality. And Yahweh never did that. Yahweh has said, is this what I want from people, to tire their body for one day with fasting? Yahweh has permitted that, but I don't think he actually wants you to do that, because, and if you're like Helga, Jesus did it, Jesus was God. Jesus is Yahweh, so obviously he can go days without food, without having any problems, because he's God. When you think about it, don't say, but he did it. He did it, maybe he did it, like as I hear it, maybe to show that he's good, he can go for without food for days and still not have any issues and still have like spiritual discussions with even with Satan. Not because, like some people say, he was attacked because he was in a weak state. No, I think Jesus was without food for 40 days and he endured like that. A human person wouldn't be able to do that, like that. And he engaged in such discussion not because he wanted to show how you have to do it, but to show that he is God. To show like not only superiority amongst the pagan deities but also to the devil, that the devil who said turn the bread into stone, for example, that was something that he told Jesus, and Jesus wasn't tempted like a human would be because he's God. That's what I'm saying. My father says thank you, Helga. He liked it. He says well done, thank you, Dad. So he asks, do you know that because you know the devil? Yes, I know him. It's quite easy to understand some things that he says once you get to know him personally. Okay, so we're gonna continue with the game. We are almost done with this. Okay, we are almost done. Okay, we finished. So I am third. Okay. So as we are talking, I'm gonna put the new game and we will hear Alan Parr as he's speaking, okay?
A sign not too long ago that said, if you want to be in shape spiritually, you can't just work out on Sunday. Many of us, we wonder why we're not in shape spiritually. It's because we're only working out on Sunday. Listen, spirit-filled worship becomes a way of life, and you have to worship the Lord not just in a particular place, but as a way of life. Sometimes, guys, I start my day about 4 or 5 days a week just walking around my neighborhood, listening to the Word of God, and worshiping with my worship music on. Why? Because worship is not about a place, it's about a person. Now we get into...
You are doing it quite ritualistic. Let's hear again step by step what he's doing. I'm not saying that he's doing anything bad. Like if somebody says this is working for me, it's okay. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just explaining if somebody wants to talk with Yahweh like I do, you have to have a different approach. Because if you don't have my approach, you are not gonna ever hear from him as I do. Not because he can't reach you, but because you don't allow him to reach you. You will always have him in this distant shape of deity, this distant idea that he is God. You will never see him as anything apart from a distant deity, from one of the other deities. That has to do with your mind. So you can see here, these are the games. So we have here the music of the games. This is 2007 Mario Galaxy. This is 2002 Super Mario Sunshine. The graphics are quite as we have them today, but this is the oldest Mario 64. We're gonna play this. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. It's quite smaller in the screen. Okay, so I have taken 71 stars in my game. We're gonna play a new game here. Okay. Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool Peach. That, can you recognize him? That's Lakitu. We have him in many games. We have him in Mario Kart. We have him in Mario Odyssey. He is found in many games. This is one of them, and as you can see, it's quite a 90s game, and that's why I love it. It's quite square shaped, quite geometrical, like old games, and it's quite funny. It's quite a game Ciao, you've reached Princess Toadstool's castle via a warp pipe. Using the controller is a piece of cake. Press B to jump and Y to attack. Press A to read signs. 2. Use the L stick to move Mario around. Now read hit for the castle. Okay. Princess Toadstool's castle is just ahead. Okay. Press B to jump. ZL to crouch. A to read a sign. Y to punch or grab something. Y again to throw something you're holding. Okay. So we're gonna go into the castle. Okay, we have Lakitu. Good afternoon, the Lakitu Bros here reporting live from just outside the Princess Castle. Mario has just arrived on the scene and will be filming the action live as he enters the castle and pursues the missing power stars. So, I'm gonna put this as a thumbnail today. Okay. So, if we can't adjust the view any further, we'll buzz. To take a look at the surroundings, stop and tilt forward. Press B to resume play. Switch camera modes with the R button. Signs along the way will review these instructions. For now, reporting live, this has been the Lakitu Bros. Okay, so let's go. Welcome, no one's home. Now get lost and don't come back. Wahaha, that's Bowser. So, you have many levels. As you can see, you have many doors. Which you can use them many times. Like, you can go whatever door you choose. And you can go back plenty of times if you have more equipment. In order to... You need a star power to open this door. Recover a power star from an enemy inside one of the castle's paintings. Okay, so I'm not quite sure where I have to go first. Let's use this door. That's the third. It takes the power of 3 stars. Okay, so where are we going? And we're going here. Down is locked. We need the door key. Here. Okay, we got out again. Not even here. So where are we going, brother? Trying to remember. Okay, I think we can go here. Yeah, we can go here. That's the first level we can enter. We enter the painting. And we try to recover stars. You can come bomb bomb battlefield, big bomb bomb on the summit. Okay, so you can go pull multiple times back. You are smack in the middle of the battlefield. You find the power stars that Bowser stole inside the painting worlds. First, talk to the bomb bomb buddy. Press A to talk. He'll certainly help you out, and so will his friends in other areas. To read signs, stop, face them, and press A or B to scroll ahead. You can talk to some other characters by facing them and pressing A. Okay. So. Hey you, it's dangerous ahead, so listen up, take my advice. Cross the 2 bridges ahead, then watch and falling water bombs. The big bomb at the top of the mountain is very powerful. Don't let him grab you. With bomb buddies, we are bomb buddies, and we're on your side. You can talk to us whenever you like to. Okay, I won't talk to him again. Can I talk to him again? Okay. Cross the 2 bridges ahead, then watch for falling water bombs. Okay, so I have to go to a bridge. That's what he says. Okay, cross the bridge and watch for... Okay. And we have these red coins. Is that lava? The floor is lava? So I'm gonna put the video back up. Okay, and I will be playing. You will be just watching the game.
Spirit-filled worship becomes a way of life, and you have to worship the Lord not just in a particular place, but as a way of life. Sometimes, guys, I start my day about 4 or 5 days a week just walking around my neighborhood, listening to the Word of God and worshiping with my worship music on. Why? Because worship is not about a place, it's about a person. Now we get into a very, very interesting second lesson, which is related to what I talked about at the beginning about some of your worship songs may have to be removed from your playlist, because the next thing we see here in this passage is that worship must be rooted in truth. Notice what Jesus says, but the time is coming, indeed it's here now, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. The Father is looking for those who will worship him that way. Notice what Jesus says. It is impossible for you and I to worship God when the music that we are listening to is untrue, because basically what we're saying is we're singing. This says,
Alan Parr, where exactly did Jesus say this to the Samaritan woman? Did he tell her, be careful how to worship God? No. He told her how to worship God so that she will be free. He didn't tell her stop listening to a song. You can't just open your mouth, guys, you do it all the time, and then people are mocking you online, they say crazy stuff about you and what type of like preachers you are, and you get offended and you're like, no, that's not me, I don't like that, you blaspheme my God, you blaspheme me, you blaspheme the Holy Spirit. Bestie, how can I get this coin, fuck my life. So bestie, you say he told her how to worship God. Yes, I agree with that. What did he say though? Did he say stop listening to secular music or remove songs from your playlist? Don't you start with me, no, because playlists didn't exist back then. This is the exact same card that you are pulling, my father is laughing, when I speak about drugs. I say that Jesus or Moses didn't ban weed, for example. And I have people saying because these things weren't discovered back then. So you say God didn't know what he had made in other continents. So if he is the God of the universe, he didn't know, for example, what's happening in China, that in China they have rice, for example. And he would be like, if you ever see something that looks like sunflower seeds, my father is laughing. My father is laughing all the way. Fuck my life. Zed, do you understand now why I say this game is very difficult? That's what I mean. So, um, so if do you think that God was like, if you ever see something like sunflower that looks like sunflower, but it's actually rice or whatever, um, don't eat it. Eat something else. I don't know what the fuck you think my father is talking about there. No, God doesn't ban only when doesn't ban things only when they are harmful, and hopefully I did the syntax correctly. Like God bans stuff that are harmful for other people, for you, for your spirituality. He doesn't ban stuff like the devil. The devil is banning stuff. You won't do this, you won't do that, you won't go there, you won't smell this smell. Fuck my life. You won't smell this smell, you won't do this, you won't do that all the time. That's he's always banning. That's why you are exercising. When you are with the devil, you are exercising, you are doing gymnastics, as I said earlier in this video, because this is how you tame your body and your needs for the devil. Thank God I took it. So, I'm gonna continue now.
it is impossible for you and I to worship God when the music that we are listening to is untrue, because basically what we're saying is we're singing lies to God.
Okay, so you say that every person who worshipped Yahweh in the Old Testament knew who he was, and if they told him lies, God cared about it. Why are you making God sound like a human, Alan Parr? I'm not making any sense of you. Let's go back.
The Father is looking for those who will worship him that way. Notice what Jesus says. It is impossible for you and I to worship God when the music that we are listening to is untrue. Because basically what we're saying is we're singing lies to God. We're singing lies.
Jesus didn't say to the woman that people will dump lies about God as you say. He said that they will know who he is because they didn't know. Do you understand what this means? No. Okay, so as I always say, stop talking if you don't know what this means and let somebody that knows what it means to say. And if it is a woman, for example, don't say she's a woman, she doesn't know, because this woman right here happens to know the devil. Okay, so I can tell you what exactly Yahweh means when he says know who I really am. For example, you said about gymnastics, and I'm putting that aside and I'm saying no, you are not gonna worship my father like he's a pagan deity. He's not a pagan deity, he is God. You're not gonna do yoga and exercise your body to give this as a sacrifice to him. No, because it says the ultimate meaning. My father says thanks. Okay, thank you. Um, when you are exercising, it's like saying I put myself in a fasting, in a diet for you, God. God doesn't want you to be thin for him. That's something that happens in Japan, in China, in India. It was happening in Greece. It was happening in Native American civilizations. It's happening in Africa to this day. Yahweh doesn't want you to be thin for him. He wants you to be happy for him. That's quite different. A happy person can be a fat person, a thin person, an average person. It doesn't have to do with how much you weigh. The fact that we say that thin people are disciplined and fat people are not, and we're putting this weight on people, it's fat phobia straight and only, and it is coming from Satan, who is a racist by heart, if you ask me. Okay, I've said that I have good feelings about him because he's my previous god, but I have to say the truth, and the fact is he's quite a racist. He is the beginner, the author, and the finisher of racism, pretty much. My father is laughing. He says you are giving him divine attributes for racism. Yes, exactly. That's what he's doing. That's why I'm doing it. Okay. Collect as many coins as possible. They will refill your power meter. Okay.
God when the music that we are listening to is untrue, because basically what we're.
Okay, you can check to see how many coins you've collected in each of the 15 enemy worlds. You can also recover power by touching the spinning heart. The faster you run through the heart, the more power you'll recover. Okay.
Saying is we're singing lies to God. We're singing lies about God to God, hoping that God will receive that message when what we are saying to him is not even consistent with who he is.
Um, Alan Parr, do you know what Yahweh told Abraham? Because you say and you don't know anything. I'm the big Bob Bomb, Lord of all blasting matter, King of kabooms the world over. How dare you scale my mountain? By what right do you set foot on my imperial mountaintop? You may have eluded my guards, but you'll never escape my grasp, and you'll never take away my power star. I hereby challenge you, Mario. If you want the star I hold, you must prove yourself in battle. Can you pick me up from the back and hurl me to this royal turf? I think that you cannot. I don't remember how you used him. We will see. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay, I think you can go from behind him and grab him. Okay, that's how you do it. You have to grab him from behind. So, Abraham heard from Yahweh, take your son and sacrifice him. And people are bamboozled that Yahweh told him to sacrifice his son, and they say all types of crazy bullshit because they don't understand spirit language. And they say Yahweh told him to do this to understand how it will feel for him to sacrifice Jesus. Okay, so Yahweh is a cannibal. My father is laughing. So you have him saying this, and you have other scholars saying actually he didn't say that, it's a mistranslation, or the translation is quite accurate. That's what Yahweh told Abraham. The problem is why he told him that. And no, bestie, it's not about how do you call it, Jesus. Nothing to do with Jesus at all. Yeah, it looks like it's not. Why? Because what Yahweh did with himself has nothing to do with what he did with other people. Where the fuck is the control? Hold on a second. So Y, okay, so you grab with Y, okay. Hold on. Fuck you. How do I grab him? Ah, okay. Yahweh told him, take your son and sacrifice him, because this is how Abraham would prove that he is faithful. Yes, but he has more. I will tell you what happened. When he reached the mountain, he found an animal to sacrifice, and the angel told him, don't do anything to your baby, sacrifice the animal. Why, my father, what can it be that Pipsqueak like you has defused the Bomb King? You might be fast enough to ground me, but you'll have to pick up the pace if you want to take King Bowser by the tail. Methinks my troops could learn a lesson from you. Here is your star as I promised, Mario. If you want to see me again, select this star from the menu. From now, farewell. Okay, so we defeated him. And we have a power star. So, what happened that day, and I'm gonna finish the video here. Hope you enjoyed. What happened was Abraham lived in an era with wild people, very wild people, who thought that approaching God meant sacrificing even your kids. We've recovered one of the stolen power stars. Now you can open some of the sealed doors in the castle. Try the princess's room on the second floor, and the room with the painting on Womb's fortress in floor 1. Bowser's troops are still gaining power, so you can't give up. Save us, Mario. Keep searching for stars. Okay. So what I'm saying here is, when he did that with Abraham, let's go back in the painting. When he did that with Abraham, fortress with Koopa the Quick. Okay, so when he did that, he. Hey Mario, is it true that you beat the big pop bomb? Cool. You must be strong and pretty fast. So how fast are you anyway? Fast enough to beat me, Koopa the Quick? I don't think so. Just try me. How about a race to the mountain top where the big pop bomb was? What do you say? When I say go, let the race begin. Ready? Go. Okay, we run. So what Yahweh did with Abraham was tell him exactly how Abraham would hear him back in those days. My father has done this with me. Do you remember when he told me a number and then he answered me with numbers and he said that's not me in the language of Zeus? He did exactly the same with Abraham. The only difference with Abraham was that he told him to sacrifice his son, because this is what Abraham would expect from Yahweh or from a god in general, to tell him back in these days to sacrifice their kids, like the Moloch fires. Molech, how do you pronounce it? The fires, the burning your children, like goddess Kali, like the Native Americans were sacrificing their kids to deities. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Fuck my life. Can I quit? Fuck my life, I lost. So that's what he did. He told him what he expected him to hear. Do you want to sacrifice your kid for me? And Abraham said yes. And then Yahweh said, that's not me. Be in peace. Take this lamb, sacrifice this instead. Because he knew that Abraham, back in these days, he would want to sacrifice an animal for God. Because, as I said, Abraham is not quite like me. He was an ancient guy. Okay, he was an ancient guy. He lived in quite different era than I do. He lived in a quite different culture. And he expected God to want him to sacrifice his son. Okay, I lost. I'm gonna play it one more time and then I'm gonna finish the video, okay? So, what he did, I'm recapitulating because this is something that you don't really listen about God outside on this planet. When Yahweh told Abraham, sacrifice your son, he spoke like Zeus. Why? Not to prove that he is like Zeus or he wants it. He told him something that Abraham would listen to, so Abraham would do it. He didn't do it. He didn't sacrifice Isaac. He went up there and God said, you are faithful, because he did it for God. What did Yahweh see? What he showed to me, that I did numerology for him. He sees faithfulness behind this action. He sees something good. That, yes, this is quite wrong because you say you can't give a lie to God. That's why I answer with this with Alan Parr. You say you can't give a lie to God. What Abraham tried to do was something that Yahweh doesn't approve of, and it scares theologians when they speak about it because they don't know how to deal with it. But the truth is, Yahweh didn't exactly want Abraham, not even to prove his faithfulness. That's not what he wanted from Abraham to do. He wanted Abraham to experience who he really is. So when he went to the mountaintop and he was ready to sacrifice his son for Yahweh because Yahweh asked him to do it, he said, did you hear that? And you think this is how I would talk to you? Because I said it to you. Is this what you think I would say? That's not me. Wow, really? You are fast, a human blur. Here you go, you won it fair and square. Okay, we have the star. So that's what he did. Did I tell you exactly what you thought I would say? Did I do that? And Abraham is yes with his action. Yes, you did it. And God is like, I don't want that. I don't want you to sacrifice kids for me. That's not me. That's the pagan deities. I'm another person. Don't do this. Don't touch your son. I want you to take this animal instead because you said you want sacrifice. I'm not gonna tell you don't do it. It's enough lesson for today. Take this animal and sacrifice this animal. I'm not saying that he wants that. He permitted it, but as you can see, you can see Abraham expected his God to tell him to sacrifice his son. Would he say this to me? No, because I wouldn't expect my father to tell me this. I was grown up in a different place of the world. I have a different culture. We are educated in a different manner. We are modern people. These were the ancient ones. I don't see my father like that. Yeah, Abraham, I said this many times, he was his best friend, yes, but the way he dealt with my father is quite different from what I'm doing with my father. I see him as a friend and as a daddy Abraham had the understanding of the people of his era. So obviously he expected Yahweh to tell him, sacrifice an animal, sacrifice a plant, sacrifice a person for me. And Yahweh used that as a way, a medium, let's put it that way, to explain to him, do you expect me to say sacrifice your kid for me? That's not me. I wouldn't tell you to do that. And don't say he sacrificed Jesus, this is what it means. Maybe it can mean as well that. My father says, but you mean you won't put in comparison me with Abraham. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Abraham is not God. He wouldn't tell him, be in my shoes, how I will feel to sacrifice my son, because Yahweh sacrificed himself. He didn't sacrifice somebody else. It's not Zeus sacrificing Hera or Hephaestus or Hermes or Aphrodite. It's him sacrificing himself, like Lily Potter in Harry Potter. She died for her son. Abraham was to sacrifice his own child that he wanted so much to have it. That's not who Jesus is, though. Jesus is Yahweh himself. You have to understand that. And when he told him, Abraham, sacrifice your kid, he wanted him to see, I'm not gonna ask you that. You think you're going to extremes because you honestly think in your heart that I will ask you to do this. No, I won't. And that's why he answered to him on top of the mountain, and he said, don't touch it, touch the animal instead. Because if he had done it any other moment of this journey beforehand, like if you are like, why didn't he say it first, like you do it immediately? Because Abraham was in a different culture. If he told him immediately, he wouldn't have registered inside his head. He had to go through this entire journey with Isaac to understand the goodness of Yahweh and who Yahweh is, in contrast with the pagan deities, in contrast with Zeus, who would ask you to do this thing, like Goddess Kali, as I said, in India. We spoke about India today. Okay, so hope this explains some shit. Hope it helps you. I will come back tomorrow with this game or Mario Party. Love you very much, Zé. Bye, mom. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to my TV show once more. See you tomorrow. Bye, and bye from my dad as well.